Hello, everybody. Oh, I thought I saw a spider coming down, but I guess not. Just before we get talking about the movie we're going to talk about today, and my hair's going super curly because it's getting longer, so I'm just kind of, I guess, going with a little bit of a fro that I have. Anyway, I got distracted by my own hair. Wow. You know, I don't know, what was I saying before all that? Oh my god, I'm losing my mind. I feel like I've been awake forever, but I really haven't. I was just doing so much yesterday, getting prepped for the UFC 275 card, isn't that right? Anyway, what I was going to say is there will be reviews coming for a few movies in between, but I had some ideas and thoughts on what I wanted to do, but so I'm going to do a review of The Bad Guys again, just because, oh my god, I feel like I've been so busy and just haven't really had the time to sit down and review some movies, so, but I wanted to get at least this one out there, because I have almost all the other, I've watched all the other Jurassic Park and World movies, and I thought I had done the other two Jurassic World reviews, but I guess not, so I'm going to have to go back and do them. Or rewatch them and review them, I guess, and then, yeah, I'm going to do a review of The Bad Guys, and I'm going to rewatch it, and whenever I can get around to it, or whenever it's available on digital, because it just seems to be available for rent, and I don't want to rent it for $24, it just seems like an awful lot of money. And then, I'm going to do, rewatch the Doctor Strange movie and do a review of it, yeah. The new Doctor Strange movie, and then get those out, hopefully, in, I guess, sometime in what are we in, June? Yeah, so hopefully in July I can get those two videos out to you guys, and right now we're just gonna focus on the other stuff, and yeah, we'll get around to those few things, I guess. But obviously I'm gonna put all the Jurassic Park movies out in this one, and with Top Gun, as well as some other ones, but that'll probably have already, I guess Top Gun will be before this video, so I don't even know why I'm talking about that, but anyhow, this is going to be the review of, now that I've talked for 2 minutes already, Jurassic World Dominion, which is the, I guess, well, not I guess, I know it's the conclusion to the Jurassic Park franchise, I guess, if you want to call it that at this point, because it's kind of split between Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. Happy that it concluded this way, but also sad that this is going to be the end of this chapter, at least with these characters. I mean, who knows? We might get another Jurassic Park movie with different people down the road. I'm not really sure where they're going to take it after this, but I don't think it'll be as good as these 6 movies were, without the, you know, without the directors of these movies behind it, right? Just because they've done such a bang-up job with all these movies, it's just hard to believe that anybody else could take over the franchise, I don't know, like, say, 5 or 10 years from now and do as good of a job with it as what has already been done. So this movie obviously had a heck of a ton, like, a whole bunch of new dinosaurs. And Biosyn is the new company that I guess has taken over instead of InGen, which was Hammond's company. And we have, obviously, all the old characters coming back and meeting the newer ones, and they've all kind of admired each other's work over the years, I guess. So it's kind of funny that it's like they knew each other without even really actually meeting one another. And we have the introduction of some new characters, obviously. So we have Chris Pratt playing Owen Grady, obviously, Bryce Dallas Howard playing Claire Dearing, Laura Dern coming back as Ellie Sattler, and Sam Neill coming back as Alan Grant, Jeff Goldblum, who has been in almost, I think he was in every single Jurassic Park movie except for the first Jurassic World movie. Jeff Goldblum playing Ian Malcolm, DeWanda Wise playing Kayla Watts, who was the pilot, and then we have I want to say Amadou Athie playing Ramsey Cole, and Isabel Sermon playing Macy Lockwood, and obviously young Charlotte Lockwood. I kind of figured it was the same girl playing both parts there. And then Campbell Scott playing Lewis Dodgen, and B.D. Wong playing Dr. Henry Wu again, and Justice Smith playing Franklin Webb, and Danielle Pineda playing Zia Rodriguez again in this one. And then we have Ditchin Lockman playing Sonia Santos, and I believe that was the entire main cast. So it was cool seeing the old cast come back from the original series movies and kind of reprise their roles in this epic conclusion to the movie. So we have I'm hoping I can pronounce this right, so this company, Biosyn, doesn't seem to be doing the whole, I guess, cross-DNA thing to create a new breed of dinosaur. They are just literally creating dinosaurs that were already there. And I guess they have like a new facility, a new place that they're putting all these dinosaurs. Obviously, because we know that dinosaurs are out in the world now living with people, and there's a whole bunch of illegal breeding grounds that Claire's going to and trying to shut down, along with Franklin and Zia. And eventually it just gets to the point where Franklin and Zia say that they're done, they're going to move on with their lives, and there's a different way of going about what they're doing. They know they're doing the right thing, but they know there's a different way to go about it and fix the problem, I guess in a more legal sense, as opposed to what they're doing, kind of breaking the law or whatever, right? So, obviously there are some pretty underhanded deals going around. It seems that Kayla, the one who is the pilot, is going around basically making money just flying dinosaurs around and whatever other cargo she needs to fly around, because she finds out that she's actually flying the kid around, right, too. Macy. She's flying Macy around as well. And when she asks about the kid, they just say not to worry about it, but I guess the kid's DNA is obviously going to be able to stop the locusts that Biosyn has released, and they're just destroying all the crops but not the crops with the Biosyn seed, just the crops that don't have Biosyn seed in them. So I guess people will pay to have the Biosyn seed, obviously, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to grow crops, right? So that's kind of this guy's plan in the movie. And I knew, right, I knew the first time we saw Lewis, I knew he wanted to do the right thing, but he was going about it the wrong way, and he just seemed off right from the very beginning. When we first meet him, when Grant and Sattler meet him in the very beginning of the movie, right before they go to meet Malcolm, or Dr. Malcolm, I guess. Dr. Grant, Dr. Sattler, right? Yeah, you could just tell he was kind of just really weird and didn't really want to be around anybody, it seemed, and it seemed like he was kind of scheming on his own. And obviously he had what he thought, I guess, was going to be his, I guess, protege to take over the company if things ever went wrong, Ramsey, but Ramsey was the one who ended up selling him out and helping Grant and Sattler get the sample from the locusts in the compound out of the compound. Of course, we all know that. Yeah, so he figures it out and tries to fire Malcolm, and to no avail. Malcolm is able to actually save Grant and Sattler and Macy, and eventually they all meet up with Owen and Claire and why can't I never think of the pilot's name? Kayla. So yeah, I guess she kind of had like a little bit of a moral compass because she did end up helping them, even though when Claire comes to her first, she just says, "No, I can't help you with that," because obviously that would be, I guess, not helping her line of business. So she ended up helping some random who just came in and said, "This is my kid. I need you to help me." But she does end up helping, and it was for the best because they are able to, I guess, kind of re-separate humans and dinosaurs again. Yeah, so the movie kind of ended, it kind of went full circle, really. Just the dinosaurs ended up being back in like their own kind of spot, and they're not going to be touched again. And I guess that's going to kind of be the conclusion. It was almost like dinosaurs. They're just kind of go extinct, and you're expecting that that's what's going to happen. After so long, I guess they're finally able to kind of allow that just for dinosaurs to go about their own. Now, one of the things that was really cool was Blue had a baby, and obviously these people are after Macy and her baby Beta, which is what Macy called it, or Macy named it, I guess, because she was also told that she was created too, which wasn't necessarily a story, but I'm not going to tell you what happens there. I'm just going to say that her mom was able to help her along the way. I don't want to give away what actually happened with Macy there. But anyway, yeah, so she's been told this entire time she was created, right? So I guess she kind of feels like a connection with the dinosaurs, obviously, which was clear at the end of the second movie, too, right? Where she lets them go. Because she's the reason they're out in the world together, and they kind of have to coexist now, right? And obviously that this movie shows that that isn't really a viable option necessarily all the time. So yeah, it's just really cool. Really good way to end the movie, and obviously you can. At the end of this movie was kind of a tearjerker where Owen is finally able to bring Beta back to Blue, and then Blue takes the baby away and then comes back and kind of looks directly into Owen's eyes, and you can really feel the connection between the two of them. So she still knows that she still has that friendship with him. She's still going to remember him, but she doesn't want to get any closer because she knows she has the potential to hurt him, right? Because of being overprotective now, obviously, thanks to having a kid. So I guess she had, like, was it salamander DNA or gecko DNA, where she can, like, reproduce on her own. So yeah, that was kind of cool to find out from Dr. Wu in the movie when he was talking about how Macy could be the cure for the locusts, right? To change their DNA so they wouldn't be eating the crops, and obviously taking away the humans' food. And we would, like, humans would have been the ones end up going extinct if these locusts had been able to continue what they were doing. And they were, like, probably about, like, a full-size locust was probably about that big. So that's, like, nuts. And the wingspan on them, like, think of it if it was facing you, the wingspan was probably about that, like, off screen for me. So yeah, that's nuts to even think about. So what else could I touch on? I guess the few of the Easter eggs, obviously, and the new bigger carnivore in this movie, and one other dinosaur that was kind of like half bird, half like predatorial, I guess. Like, it would, like, slap, but it had, like, these weird long, like, I don't know, it almost looked like, reminded me of, like, Edward Scissorhands in a way, like really long nails, I guess, maybe, or claws or whatever, and it would just kind of, like, it seemed to be a herbivore, but it would, like, kill its I guess opposition really is the word I'm looking for. Anyway, just slap this deer out of the way at one point, and then goes after Claire after the plane crashes from the pterodactyls. And I can't really remember what they called that specific type of. It might not have been a pterodactyl. It wasn't a pterodactyl. I can't remember the name of the bird, but it was, yeah, it took down a whole plane, so it was pretty big. Um, Kayla knew the name of it because she said it right before it took down the plane, but and then they end up facing this other weird looking dinosaur that almost looked like a raptor, but it could also go underwater. So that was, yeah. Some of these that Biosyn created were just absolutely insane if they weren't actually, two different types of DNA put together from two different dinosaurs. Now, one of the dinosaurs in this movie was, I guess, a bigger carnivore than the T-Rex, which seems absolutely crazy. And what was the name of it? It was the Giganotosaurus. And holy crap. Now, I did go see this in D-Box, so I got to kind of... It was a very different experience in D-Box, I think, because you could feel like the... right from the opening scene, where the... I don't know what the water dinosaur was called, but anyway, it kind of comes up and pulls the boat underwater. So that was kind of cool. You could like feel the waves or whatever, kind of rocking the boat back and forth, and you could feel the cage crushing in its jaws. And every time there was like a vehicle move, I think one of the coolest scenes, every time there was a vehicle moving, yeah, you could feel it like rocking on the road, or especially when Claire's trying to take the Triceratops baby at the beginning of the movie out of this illegal breeding ground, and all the Triceratops are just like toppling cars over, and it's just, what a mess at the very beginning of the movie. So this movie just puts you right into it at the very beginning, and obviously the plane scene was pretty cool. Now, I will say one thing that I wish Hollywood did a little bit better, because I mean, I get that their plane crashed into water and ice, so maybe they wouldn't have been hurt quite as bad, but I mean, they literally got out of the plane kind of scot-free, so it makes me kind of laugh when they do stuff like that, where it's like they're not hurt at all from crashing like that, you know what I mean? But I mean, I guess it wouldn't have made much of a movie if they had have kind of just been so discombobulated that they wouldn't have been able to continue on, right? So, yeah, there were a couple Easter eggs in this movie. Obviously, the spray can from the very first movie that Lewis takes at the end and puts in like a briefcase, and when he gets on the pod, the I don't know what they're called, like the dinosaurs that spit the venom or whatever, and they have the weird like neck glands, I guess, that kind of pop out and are supposed to be like supposed to freak you out or whatever. And he's trying to go down the tunnel, and one of those ends up attacking him, and he drops the can. And if you remember that from the first movie, when the guy's trying to get the DNA samples, and the can looks like real shaving cream, but it's not. The top comes off, and the DNA samples go in. Yeah, so that was one of the Easter eggs, and one of the cooler things at the end was when the Giga was fighting the T-Rex and this other creature, and it looked like the T-Rex had lost, but the Easter egg was the T-Rex walking, putting its head into the circle, just like the symbol, the logo. Now I'm sure there was probably a couple other things in this movie that were Easter eggs, but those were the ones that I picked up on the most, or were the most noticeable anyway. And then obviously the T-Rex gets back up and shoves the Giga into the other creature's claws and kills it, so proving that the T-Rex was the top apex predator when the dinosaurs were alive. So yeah, that battle scene was just absolutely epic, and the D-Box seats just shaking back and forth, and watching all the characters try to run to the helicopter. So yeah, it was pretty cool. What else can I talk about in this movie? A lot happens. There's so much to talk about, actually, when you really narrow it down. Obviously, the connection between Macy and Owen and Claire only grows stronger throughout this movie, and she definitely sees them as her parents now that she doesn't have anybody else left since Lockwood died in the last movie, unfortunately. So now we have no Hammond and no Lockwood, and just people taking over the dinosaurs. And obviously the action scene where Owen's chasing or being chased by these new breed of raptors that this Santos girl has, I guess, kind of created, where they are attracted to the lasers or whatever. And also in this movie, I forgot about, I think it was Barry, is like French intelligence now or something, and he's trying to go after all these people that are doing the illegal deals, right? Yep, that was definitely him. So Owen and Claire meet up with him at one point, and then they get chased by these new breed of raptors that Santos had, and it was just awesome watching him on the motorbike and her and Kayla in the car outsmarting these raptors, and he was really doing a good job of it, obviously, because he trained with them, right? So he kind of knows their patterns of movement, and him on the bike just like drifting out of their way, and that sort of thing. Like, it was really cool. And then flying the bike onto the plane, like, wow. That was probably one of my favorite scenes, obviously. I was just like smiling through that entire thing, and yeah, like, this movie was really, really good and worth it. Honestly, I think there was only, I can't remember how many movies out of the Jurassic Park series that I rated 10 out of 10, but I know I did it with one of them for sure, I think. But this one was a 10 out of 10 as well, so I'm just going to look real quick. I can't remember what did I rate the first one? Ah, yes, okay. 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 Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So anyway, I think that's it for this review, because I've been talking for, only 22 minutes. I thought it said 27, but anyway, that is it for this review, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye for now.